Lord Alaron and Faramir have been captured by forces from Minas Morgul. You pursue their captors eastward into the dreaded Vale. Hello, and welcome back to the Line Unbroken, my series in which I'm playing through each of the scenarios of the Lord of the Rings living card game in turn, using only cards which were available at the time of the release, in imitation of the existing LTR LCG Progressions series. Here I'm playing the sixth and final scenario of the Against the Shadow cycle, the Morgul Vale. So for our setup, we set aside Lord Alaron, the Nazgul of Minas Morgul, and the White Bridge, add to the tower Murag and one copy of Morgul Vale to the staging area. To the tower, cannot leave the staging area, remove Faramir from the game, and if 10 or more progress tokens are on to the tower, the players have lost the game. This represents the fact that Faramir has been captured and is being carried off towards the tower. Murag, 2527, Orc Uruk Captain, forced after Murag attacks, reveal the top card of the encounter deck. If that card is an enemy, put it into play engaged with the defending player. And there was, as a result of this quest and Murag, a clarification that the phrasing, if something tells you to reveal a card, that does actually mean reveal and add to the staging area. It's just a shorthand. So if you reveal a location, it does go to the staging area. It doesn't just disappear into the ether. And the Morgul Vale, 3 threat, 3 quest points, forced at the end of the round. Each player returns 1 enemy engaged with him to the staging area. So, here I have a pretty great opening hand for this deck. I've got 2 Spears of the Mark ready to go. Feint, Quick Strike, Test of Will. Everything I really need. Over here I've got Advance Warning, I've got Scroll of Isildur, I've got some card draw. It's all pretty good. So let's flip this over. You are betrayed! Lord Alaron has revealed himself as in league with the enemy. A large Uruk, Murag, has been left in charge of finishing you off, while Faramir is rushed ahead to the dead city. Murag cannot leave play unless destroyed. If Murag is defeated, advance to the next stage. So control N. Right. So I definitely want to put 1 Spear of the Mark onto Dun here. And to be honest, I think I want to put 2 Spears of the Mark onto Dun here. So he will attack into the staging area for 7, which is not enough to kill Murag in 1 hit, but it's still pretty good. And that's obviously it for this deck. Now here, I want to hold on to resources for Advanced Warning just in case. I suppose I can play Mithrandir's Advice. 2, 3, finding myself a good harvest, which leadership. I'm going to make Bomber the Steward of Gondor, because why not? And I may leave it at that. Yeah, I think I leave it at that. So now there is 5 threat in the staging area. We're not expecting to be engaging anything, so I'll quest for 2, 5, factoring Théoden's ability, of course. 5, 7, 9. Impenetrable Fog. The first player places 3 progress tokens onto the tower or reveals X additional cards from the encounter deck and adds them to the staging area. X is the number of players in the game. This is one of those cards that scales weirdly, because in a single player game, you just figure, oh fine, so I reveal X additional cards, which is 1. So this card does nothing and gains Surge. 2 players, it becomes more of an issue. 4 players, it's utterly horrible. So you quite possibly want to put the progress onto the tower, except, of course, 4 player, you have so many more effects putting progress onto the tower that it becomes a greater risk. In this case, I don't want to risk it, so I'm going to just put the progress there. And 2, a Morgul bodyguard. That's annoying. But at least it's only 1 threat, so I'm questing successfully and don't have to raise my threat. I will travel to the Morgul Vale. I will not be engaging anything. They have the same defense, so it doesn't really matter which one I attack. Dunhir will attack one of them, because any damage that would be dealt to a captain enemy is dealt to 1 Morgul bodyguard instead, so whichever one I attack, I end up dealing 5 damage to the Morgul bodyguard. I suppose this is okay, because if this deck plays Advanced Warning, I can optionally engage the bodyguard and kill it with a Gondorian Spearman. And then Dunhir will be free to attack Murag. That's the end of the round. I would have to have each player return an enemy engaged with him to the staging area, but there are no engaged enemies. So we just Control N. Oh yeah, this is the one thing that I don't have, that I didn't have in my opening hand, a dwarf to play and boost up my card draw with Ori. Well, let's pay 1 for a Scroll of Isildur. Let's play Daron's Runes. Draw 2, discard a Good Harvest. I need 2 for Advanced Warning still. Saving 1 for Secret Paths could be a reasonable idea. I have 6 resources left, so I suppose that means I can reasonably spend 3. So let's bring out one of these Ithilien archers. On this side, I will play this Gondorian Spearman, since that was the plan that I just came up with. Oh, no, wait. The bodyguard should have taken 1 damage from Thalin when he was revealed, so in fact he's dead already. In which case, I don't necessarily need to go for the Spearman, though he's still a useful thing to have. Yeah, I'll still play the Spearman. And otherwise leave it at that. So now there's only 2 threats in the staging area. We'll quest for 2, 5, 7, 9. Once again, Morgul Tracker takes 1 damage. At Orc War Camp, that is a lot of threat to reveal from 2 cards. So we're up to 11. Questing unsuccessfully as it stands. But let's pay 1 for Secret Paths to cancel the threat of the Orc War Camp, taking me back down to 6. We now make 3 progress and explore the Morgul Vale. So then let's travel to the Orc War Camp. Now, if I optionally engage the Morgul Tracker, then that will put a progress onto the tower. I think I can probably quest reasonably enough past it, so let's just go Advanced Warning. No engagement checks are made. Murag will stay where he is, and in the combat phase, Dunhir will attack and deal 5 damage to him. Control N. Again. Okay. Right, poison stakes. Also useful. Again, I need to save 2 for Advanced Warning, which I can play with the Scroll of Isildur. Protector of Lorien is a reasonable idea. Let's stick a ranger bow on here. And yeah, okay, actually let's just put poison stakes up there. Now here I have resources for feint and quick strike. Let's pay 2 for Arwen, on the off chance that I want to defend something. And let's get to questing. So 2, 5, 7, targeting Bomber. 9, 11 against 6. Power of Mordor! This is a really annoying card. Well, I suppose at least it came at the start of staging, rather than later on when I'd revealed other things. So, number of encounter cards in the staging area to the tower is an encounter card. Murag is an encounter card, but they cannot leave play unless destroyed. So we count the number of encounter cards in the staging area, which is 3. Shuffle them into the encounter deck. So I shuffled the Morgul Tracker into the encounter deck, but not the other 2. And reveal an equal number of cards from the encounter deck and add them to the staging area. This effect cannot be cancelled, otherwise I would cancel the hell out of it. So I reveal 3 additional cards now, before going back to the second card of staging. So, Morgul Spider takes 1 damage, lands on the poisoned stakes. Forest Bat takes 1 damage, is immediately killed. Also, the Morgul Spider has +4 attack until the end of the round, but that doesn't really matter that much. And Morgul Road. So that's Power of Mordor all resolved, and finally the second card of staging is another Morgul Spider, which takes 1 damage from Tharlin. So I've revealed 6, 8 threat. Yeah, I can't boost my willpower in any way. So I guess we just go up by 3 threat. So this is not great, but let's discard the Scroll of Isildur to play Advanced Warning. It then goes onto the bottom of my deck. Oh, actually, there is something that I could do, but I'm not sure how much help it would be. No, it wouldn't really help. Well, yeah, I suppose I could quick strike with doing here to kill a spider, which would mean that I would break even rather than having to raise my threat. But then I wouldn't be advancing through the quest. So I think I will stick with this. So I played Advanced Warning, no engagement checks are made, and in the combat phase, Dunahir will attack and kill Murag. Note that the captains don't actually have victory points, so if you get all the way through the encounter deck, they can come out again. And so, Murag is defeated, I advance to the next stage. You've defeated the great Murag and his kin. There is no time for rest as you follow Faramir deeper into the Vale. Soon you find the traitor Alaron blocking the road, a grimace of anger on his formerly handsome face. By the 1,000 thorn drakes of Morgul, you do tempt my patience, he sneers. When revealed, add Lord Alaron to the staging area. Alaron utters an ancient word, and a ghastly shriek rises from Minas Morgul. Something cold and terrible has awoken, something that is aware of your presence. A short distance ahead, the Uruk carrying Faramir pauses, intimidated by the carrion cry from the city. There may still be time, but first you must deal with the traitor. Lord Alaron cannot leave play unless destroyed. If Lord Alaron is defeated, advance to the next stage. And I just realised what I actually should have done instead of what I did. So, if you will permit a slight retcon, Murag had 5 damage on him. So, in fact, I will exhaust this Athelian archer and the range bow to deal 1 damage to Murag. Then engage him. He has dealt a shadow card, and I will defend him with a Gondorian Spearman, which deals the 1 damage, which kills him. Shadow card. So he didn't get as far as getting to after he attacks, and thus did not trigger his forced effect. And now we advance, with Dunhir still being ready to attack into the staging area and deal 4 damage to Lord Alaron. This is the smart way of doing it. So, Control N. Finally found a dwarf. Unfortunately, what I have not found is another copy of the advance warning, so things will be engaging me. Oh, 2 damage to this Morgul spider from the poison stakes. So let's pay 2 for the Prospector, discard the top 3 cards of my deck, and then shuffle something back in. Either the Scroll of Isildur or some card draw, I think, are the good choices here. I think the card draw. Oh, hang on. I should have played Legacy of Durin before doing that, and then I shuffle the card draw back in and draw a card for Legacy of Durin. Gildor's Council. Not that helpful. Well, I suppose it could be helpful. I have plenty of tactics resources, so let's transfer one of those to... Can't transfer to Bomber, to Biffer. Now I could either play Gildor's Council to have an easier time with questing, or play the Athelian Archer to have an easier time with combat. I think maybe Gildor's Council is the way to go. So, on this side, I kind of, as much as I want the willpower, I want to save a resource for a test of will. So I guess this is what we're getting. Right. Now, 3, 6, 8, 11 threat in the staging area. Let's quest 2, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. Not great. But we will pay 3 for Gildor's Council. So we only reveal 1 card, which is the Forest Bat, which is immediately killed by Thalin. And now I will play Quick Strike, have Dunhir attack into the staging area and kill this Morgul spider, reducing the threat by 3. So I make 4 progress, clearing the Orc war camp, travel to the Morgul road, And now we engage these two enemies, like so. Deal out shadow cards. I think I probably want to save the feint. So a bomber will just defend this normally. Deal 2 additional shadow cards. Okay, Master's Malice is gone. Actually, there are 3 copies. Bomber takes 2 damage. Over here, the Gondorian Spearman will defend, dealing 1 damage to Lord Alaron, which kills him. And I guess that's when Lord Alaron attacks. So I guess that means as soon as I declare that I'm resolving his attack, I place the progress. But it does mean that he dies before I get as far as revealing his shadow card, which it had a shadow effect anyway, so his effect would not have triggered, but still, good to be sure. Lord Alaron is defeated, advanced to the next stage. You've delivered justice to the traitor Alaron. You rush forward to help Lord Faramir, who is still struggling with his captors. Then another shrill cry emanates from the city. It pierces your ears and chills your heart. With a dull clangor... Clangor? What the hell kind of word is that? With a dull clangor, the gates to Minas Morgul open. Mounted on a great black horse, a Nazgul rides forth to claim Sauron's prize. When revealed, add Nazgul of Minas Morgul and the White Bridge to the staging area. So, White Bridge has X threat and X quest points, where X is the number of progress tokens onto the tower. So that's 4. And the Nazgul of Minas Morgul, 4, 7, 4, 5. Nazgul of Minas Morgul cannot have attachments and reduce any amount of damage dealt to Nazgul of Minas Morgul to 1. Fortunately, I have stocked up on direct damage effects, so I will I will flip over the quest card. When revealed, reveal 1 card per player from the encounter deck and add it to the staging area. Nazgul of Minas Morgul cannot leave play unless destroyed. If Nazgul of Minas Morgul is defeated, the players have won the game. So we reveal 2 cards. Dooms 2. Each player must discard 3 random cards from his hand or place 1 progress onto the tower. So I guess that means Doom 2, obviously. And I guess I'm putting 2 more progress onto the tower. I suppose I could play a test of will on it, but it doesn't feel like such a big deal. Maybe I'll regret not cancelling it. And the Orc War Camp. And now I will exhaust my Athelian Archer and the Ranger Bow to deal 1 damage to the Nazgul. At the end of the round, the Poison Stakes deal another 2 damage to the Morgul Spider, and it is killed. So we move forward with only 1 enemy in play, that being the Nazgul. Draw an extra card, because I have 5 dwarves. The Ori. Now, Quick Strike is good. West Road Traveller is certainly good. Yeah, I would really like to explore the Morgul Road, given the effect on it can deal a damage to an enemy in play, which could be the Nazgul, but I really want to reduce the amount of threat in the staging area, so I guess I'm swapping it out for the White Bridge. And that will be that. Now over here, let's pay 1 for Mithrandir's advice. 1, 2, 3. Alright, and then let's play Daeron's runes. 1, 2, discard Legacy of Durin. Let's pay 1 for an Erebor Record Keeper and draw a card. Let's transfer a resource to Biffer and pay 1 for Mithrandir's advice. Draw 3. Found an advance warning. I'm not sure how necessary it'll be, but it can stop other enemies engaging me while I'm dealing with the Nazgul, which could be highly relevant. I also have this Secret Paths, which is probably going to be more effective than Protector of Lorien. So, now let's quest. 4, 2, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 14, 15 against 11. Reveal Orc Vanguard and Sleepless Malice. Discard 3 random cards or place progress onto the tower. I'm going to put in progress. Do 2 as well. So I've added 2 threat. I am still questing successfully by 2. Actually, you know what? Cancel that. I'm going to cancel the treachery we've done with Test of Will. So take that progress off. It would also increase the quest points on the White Bridge, of course. Now, yeah, if I play Secret Paths, then I would clear the White Bridge, which would be pretty useful. So I will do that. Cancelling the threat of the Orc War Camp, meaning that I make 7 progress and clear the White Bridge. Now let's travel to the Morgul Road. Now, how much? An enemy that's right in front of him, he only attacks for 4, so I'll play Quick Strike so he can instead attack for 7 into the staging area and deal 1 damage to the Nazgul Morgul, since all damage is always reduced to 1 against the Nazgul. I will pay 2 for advance warning, so no engagement checks are made. But I will then optionally engage the Nazgul. Oh no, sorry. I will exhaust the Athelian Archer and range bow to deal 1 damage to the Nazgul, then optionally engage the Nazgul. Shadow Guard. Defend with Spearman, dealing 1 more point of damage. If this attack destroys a character, place 1 progress onto the tower. That does happen. But I'm almost at the end. So what have I got here? More willpower. And here I draw 2 cards, thanks to Ori. Alright. Yeah, there are other attachments in the way of me recovering my Scroll of Isildur to play Advance Warning again. So all I really want to do right now is explore the Morgul Road, because that will allow me to deal 1 last point of damage to the Nazgul. There is, of course, 7 threat in the staging area. Are there any attachments in this discard pile? Probably not, right? No. So let's go to returning Legacy of Durin to in hand. Because why not? I'm drawing a card. Okay, now is there anything actually that useful in there? Gildor's Council. It's a possibility, but so is Protector of Lorien. And under the circumstances, I'm going to go with I suppose, yeah, okay. I will transfer a resource to Bitfair. No, because I need to pay 1 for the scroll and then 3 for Gildor's Council, so it's that or Protector of Lorien. So I'm going to play Protector of Lorien onto Bitfair and onto Tharlin and onto Ori. Yep, I have 6 cards in this hand and 4 in this one, and I'm not playing anything else. So there is 7 threat in the staging area. It's quest for 2, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 against 7, and we reveal Surge placement progress onto the tower. Morgul Arbalesters and Morgul Sorcerer. So that's added 3 threat. I'm making 7 progress, which is enough to explore the Morgul Road, but if I wanted to show off, I suppose I can dump all of those to get up to 26 willpower and make 16 progress. The Morgul Road is explored. I'll trigger the response to deal 1 damage to an enemy in play, choosing the Nazgul. If Nazgul of Minas Morgul is defeated, the players have won the game. Quite efficiently. Yeah, a certain amount of stuff that I didn't really get to do that I built into the decks. Obviously I never drew a foe hammer, so I couldn't draw into this deck quite so fast. Let's take a look at what's still in here. Yeah, Song of Battle, Rain of Arrows with Vassal of the Windlord. Spear of the Citadel to go on Spearmen. Stand together so I could defend with multiple spearmen at once. Deal multiple individual points of damage to the Nazgul. More willpower. Mighty Prowess. Biggest reason for including Song of Battle, so that I could make Dunhir a tactics hero and put Mighty Prowess on him, because all of the 3 boss enemies have the Captain trait. So you kill one, which causes you to advance the quest, and once you've finished advancing the quest, you are still at the point where you have just attacked and destroyed an enemy, and can trigger the response to deal 1 damage to another enemy that shares a trait with the enemy just destroyed. So you choose the Captain trait, and deal 1 damage to the next one. Yeah, I suppose that's all the important stuff. Bofo wasn't really needed, because I had my weapons in my opening hand. On this side, obviously it took me a little while to actually get my 5th dwarf, so that I could start drawing faster. Obviously, if I'd had that sooner, it would have helped a bit with getting the advanced warnings and the Scrolls of Isildur and everything else. But, admittedly, with high threats and 8 progress out of 10 onto the tower. I have won the game, rescued Faramir, completed the cycle, stopped the traitorous conspiracy, and so on. And yeah, it's all worked out. Obviously, I suppose we didn't get to see all of the mechanics of this quest coming into play, because some of them depend on the enemies actually getting to attack rather than sitting in the staging area and being charged down by Dunhir, but then that's why it can be such an effective strategy. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.